Hey everyone, Patrick Wright here with STP Ventures, putting together a quick update video on the latest pandemic that is ransomware called WannaCry. Odds are you've probably seen some of these news articles you see here on the screen. If not, give your good friend Google a ping. Just type in WannaCry ransomware and you will see everything. You see the first article pops up here is from Alien Vault. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. So, quick rundown on what ransomware actually is. Ransomware is a piece of malicious software created by someone. They have not been identified yet, specifically WannaCry. It comes in through an email attack or exploits a vulnerability in the Microsoft Windows operating system. So any machine running Windows is vulnerable. And it installs a program that will encrypt all of your files. Those files are then permanently encrypted until you pay whatever fee that the WannaCry ransomware operators are asking for. In this case, they're asking for $300 in Bitcoins if you pay within the first 3 days. After that 3-day period, it doubles to $600. That's US dollars. Bitcoin being an untraceable digital currency. And if you don't pay within 7 days, then your files are permanently deleted on your machine. If you head over to the STP Ventures Facebook page, just facebook.com/STP Ventures, you actually see my latest post I have up that will actually show you what the actual software, what the WannaCry software looks like. See here, oops, your files have been encrypted, gives you the details, tells you they accept check payments, Bitcoins, none of which you should actually send these folks. Make that very, very clear. Ourselves, the NSA, Homeland, everybody is recommending you do not pay these guys. More often than not, especially if you choose the check payment option, these guys can take your personal information and they can actually clean you out for much more than just the $300 payment, $600 payment that you issue to them. Over here on the left, you can see payment will be raised on. They give you a timer. That's 2 days, 23 hours, 57 minutes, 37 seconds. And then your files will be permanently deleted after that timer ticks down to 0. So of course the question on everyone's mind is, what do I do about it? How do I know if I'm at risk? You have to follow kind of what we call the common sense security measures, run your Windows updates. Microsoft has actually released patches for the current versions, their supported operating systems. They actually took a rather unusual step in releasing a Windows XP, which has been end of life for some time now, security patch that addresses the WannaCry ransomware. So if you take a look at some of your major news outlets, this is just the article from CNBC that they posted, you'll see the authorities, quote unquote authorities, issuing statements on what should I do to protect myself, things of this nature. Primarily, these are common sense measures that apply to individuals. Large organizations and businesses, you can see here the recommendations: patch your servers, back up your data, etc., etc. Unfortunately, the world that we live in, the reality of it is that those measures just simply aren't enough. Educate your people, don't click on links that they shouldn't be clicking on, help them to realize what a scam is. If they need help with that, we of course can help with that. There are some much more sophisticated countermeasures that can be deployed to assist in stopping ransomware, especially ones that function like WannaCry does. So that brings me into the infographic that I have pulled up here. There's two primary and many ancillary solutions that STP Ventures offers that can help flat out stop the ransomware attacks. They can mitigate the damage, they can confine the damage, alert you to the attack, and then they can help, just keep it from doing too much harm to your business, which is the primary concern here. What you want to avoid is your servers or your CFO's, your CEO's computer becoming encrypted. Once it's encrypted, the infection, all ransomware really, but WannaCry specifically, aggressively pursues aggregating itself in the local network. So all it takes is one infected machine, and you could be looking at hundreds of infected machines. However many machines you have in the building could very much be at risk. So there's the two primary services that STP offers. One is called STP Black. STP Black is a proactive cybersecurity solution. You can see here through this infographic, STP Black sits in the middle here and collects information from the global threat community. specific to WannaCry. The threat exchanges and our own STP security analytics here are all pushing information that's detected about WannaCry, the related URLs, sometimes your file hashes, the IP addresses that are commanding and kind of controlling the whole attack. Once the global community or our own internal security team picks up on those flags, those indicators, we push them to STP Black. Then STP Black actually gets shot out to the customer firewall. Now, the customer firewall, let me move my webcam out of the way here for you, sits directly in front of the customer network, and that's you guys. All of your pertinent information, your important client information, banking, PCI compliance, all of that fun stuff sits right here in the customer network. And you can see here, STP Black actually has a direct link when you sign up for it to the firewall. So any threats that are coming from the cloud, they're going to hit your firewall first. STP Black is already blocking the indicators there, and it's actually going to stop those threats, those things that are already known to the global security industry and our own internal security analytics team before it ever actually leaves the firewall and presents to the customer network. One of the challenges of proactive solutions like STP Black is what happens when variations 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, we can go into the hundreds of variations, different IP addresses, your command and control, different file hashes, associated URLs, things of that nature. How do you proactively keep up with that stuff? Truth of the matter is, in the cybersecurity world, you can't. This is mostly operating on things that have already been detected. They're already known to the global industry, and we're protecting you from those things. So STP Black, as a subscription service, is going to protect you from the known variants of WannaCry, the ransomware, as well as thousands, tens of thousands of other ransomware attacks that are out there every day. In order to compete with the unknown, the 0-day or the very little information attacks that exist out there, like the new active threats from WannaCry that are actually happening around the globe as I'm recording this video, we actually resell and manage the Alien Vault USM, the Unified Security Management Platform. So Alien Vault has 5 key components to it, one of which is behavioral monitoring that looks for anomalous behavior, things that just don't normally happen in the network. Also has network intrusion and host intrusion detection. So when you combine Alien Vault USM to detect your unknown threats, in addition to STP Black to mitigate and just flat out stop your known threats, then you have a winning equation for cybersecurity. One of the nice features about STP Black is STP Black can tie into the threats that come from Alien Vault in the customer environment. So if the customer environment has Alien Vault installed and it picks up on anomalous behavior, those indicators are going to be kicked out to STP Black, just like they do from the global threat exchanges, security indices, the internal security analytics team that we have here in-house. And it's actually going to kill that threat's ability to call home. So while we still have to do some work to clean up the mess in the environment, the threat itself is not going to be calling back to its command and control server. So with those 2 technologies being your primary defenses, there are many other things that you honestly should already be doing. Having a professional version, not a free version of an endpoint protection suite, something like Trend Micro or a free business, something along that nature. Do not recommend using Kaspersky. They're currently under investigation by the United States government for ties to the Russian government. I'll update you guys whenever we hear a definitive report on that. You should also have a solid data backup foundation in place. You should never be more than 24 hours without a full or an incremental backup of your critical data, your accounting systems, client information, anything that you can't imagine yourself losing permanently and still being able to stay in business needs to be backed up on that regular schedule. One of the most powerful and one of the most sensical ways to protect yourself against these attacks is implementing a rather simple email filter program. So we actually have several hardware and software-based solutions where we can scan your inbound emails coming to your organization for threats, bad links, anything with malicious attachments to it, anything that's trying to trick your employees into clicking on something that it's pretending to be. We can actually stop that for them. We can drop them out of hand, or we can present them for individual review by our security team or by someone at the organization. So add it all together and kind of recap things. Our update on the existing active, as I'm recording this video, ransomware attack which is being called WCRY, WannaCry. You've got two primary defenses against it, other than the Microsoft patching, which may or may not catch everything, especially if you already have an infected computer. It's not going to do you much good. You've got your Alien Vault USM, and you have STP Black. Those two primary things, and this is the kicker, we are offering free 30-day trials, no risk, no commitment. It's not going to cost you a penny. You just have to have the server space, either virtual or physical, in your existing network. Our team is going to work with the Alien Vault team. It installs in less than 1 hour. And this is our way, you could call it community service. We're working with our own internal teams and with the folks that power our very powerful solutions, our cybersecurity solutions, to bring this 30-day free trial to you, to show you that you may or may not have a need for cybersecurity in your network. A lot of times, many businesses, especially in the SMB arena, get lulled into a false sense of security. It can never happen to me. I don't have enough money. I can do this, I can do that. You know, I read about it in the paper every single day, but why would they target me? The truth of the matter is, it will happen to you. It's not a question of if, but a question of when. WannaCry has currently infected 200,000 individual machines. That's over 10,000 companies in 150 different countries. It is coming, and if you don't take steps to protect yourself from it, protect your clients and protect your employees, protect your valuable assets at your company, you will be affected by it, and that's what we're trying to prevent. So we're taking our very valuable services, very powerful services, and we're offering them to any company, any organization on a 30-day free trial basis. Okay, that's for the Alien Vault USM and for the reactive and proactive piece of STP Black. Don't forget your ancillary technologies, which are not on free demos, but are always available. You've got to have a solid data backup foundation in place. You have to have something on your endpoint protection that is professionally run, something more than just Avast or AVG, you know, the free providers. And then you need to have an email filtering program. If you have your two primaries in place, your Alien Vault USM and STP Black, you are way ahead of the game where most organizations are. If you have those two primaries and then your three ancillaries, those common sense protection measures, those 5 components right there, that's as secure as you're going to get. So I'm going to leave you guys, let you chew on that. You can get in touch with 1Volt or 1Volt Associates in the physical integration game, or you can get in touch with us directly. If you'd like to contact us directly here at STP Ventures, give this number a call. That'll put you right into the phone system, 704-470-4121. And if you'd like to get in touch with 1Volt Associates, I know a lot of you guys probably already have relationships with them, amazing people over there. You can go to 1volt.org and click on their contact requests, and you can see all of their contact information here. So once again, this is Patrick Wright with STP Ventures, coming to you with an update, a video update on WannaCry, the ransomware that is currently attacking the entire globe. You are at risk. You do need to take measures to protect yourself, and we are working in conjunction with 1Volt Associates to make sure that companies around the globe, especially in the United States, are protected. Thank you very much, and I'll update you guys with another video when this thing is put to bed. Thank you.